right, let's take a look at these bodies.
I'm gonna need to simmer way the fuck down.
Nope, sheet. Holy shit.
Okay, what you see is two bodies. Imagine something that has been shredded to hamburger. It almost looks like somebody put their fist into the rib cage, made a fist, and pulled out a section of ribs with their hand so that they could get through, and it looks like you see veins and arteries have been forcibly pulled through that hole and then twisted off.
Ew.
The other body is pretty much cut up the same way. One of them is an older woman in her 40s, and then the other one is a younger African-American male, 15, 16 years old. Yeah, they're both carved up real good.
I think he might be telling the truth.
Yeah.
It's a Rougarou.
No.
No,
What?
Yeah,
it's not. This is none of the telltale signs of a Rougarou.
it's gotta be.
Wow.
Where are your parents?
Wow.
Where are your parents?
Well, are the wounds consistent with the werewolf?
Yeah, pretty much the heart is missing. Is usually screams werewolf along with heavy slash injuries. The kills were very quick. You don't see even a lot of defensive wounds.
Alright, so what Megan does is she takes her suit jacket off, rolls up her sleeves to her shoulders, goes and grabs a couple of rubber gloves, makes a fist, and puts it into the chest cavity.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Stop fisting the dead.
Basically, she wants to see if it looks like you could just punch right into the chest, and that's why there's no struggle wounds.
Like they got him so fast.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like. Whatever did this was strong enough that it was able to pretty much make a fist. It was able to puncture the skin, put the fingers between the ribs, make a fist, break them, and then go in after the heart and pull it out in a matter of a couple of seconds. That's what the evidence tells you. You can see and you can now feel with your tiny girlish hands that they easily fit in the hole. A much bigger fist would fit
Does
in
it
there.
seem to go all the way through the body?
No, it stops. It stops at the heart.
This is some bad shit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm glad you had to reach into the chest of the victim to find out that it was some bad shit.
I mean, assuming they were standing, if someone were to come up and they could totally get in there, and that's why there's no struggle.
And
Fairly common
People struggle.
now when they have their chest ripped out by a werewolf.
Well,
Gerald gets really quiet, looks at Eric, turns around on his heel, and leaves.
he's not wrong. I do the thing.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go out into the woods.
That is a dummy.
So I'll pull off the gloves, roll back down the sleeves, put the jacket back on, and head outside.
Do you tell anyone your hairbrain plan, or was that you just saying that to yourself?
Yep.
Oh, that was a multiple choice question.
Right.
Tiffany, stop perpetuating stereotypes and give this man a clear answer.
Well, there's your answer.
On your way out upstairs, while Megan is still downstairs, Gerald and Eric, the sheriff does have a few more words for you. Not a lot goes on up here. Mostly I keep the guys in line. The good folks up here. Why don't you guys come back tonight and I'll get you a list of some of the folks in town.
That'd be appreciated.
Very
Also, if you could, let the farmer know that we'll be out to visit him. I don't want to just show up on his property unawares.
Sure, I'll let him know. He goes by the name Farmer Daniels.
Farmer Daniel, much appreciated.
Where's your junior agent?
He'll be up in a moment.
Should she be alone with...
It's fine. She's been trained.
Okay. As long as you're confident in her, then your word's good enough for me.
I'm not sure I'm willing to put my fake word on this. My fake word is my bond.
Your fake word is your bond.
Or your fake bond.
My gold bond. Indicated powder.
Joe, just so you know, you're within earshot of these conversations that are happening with the sheriff. The sheriff says he'll let Farmer Daniels know that you'll be out. When are you going to go see him?
Pretty much as soon as we head out of here. That's our next stop.
Okay, his farm's about 20 minutes down 58.
All right.
And he gives you some crude directions, which... just make sure you don't get lost. The phone reception out there is no good.
Of course it isn't.
Yep. All right. So I guess we're waiting for the junior agent to.
Or invest in a satellite phone if you're going to be doing a lot of work in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Don't leave home without it. The sheriff pulls out his, and it's this big old
Thanks,
satellite
one of
phone.
them. I do know when we get outside, I look at Eric, and I'm like, a lot of me wants to get back in the continent and drive away, and Stranger here. But on the other hand, if we don't keep an eye on her, she'll just make this worse, get us or herself killed, or other innocent people.
There's a 99.98% chance that she's gonna die before we resolve this case. I don't know that I'm inclined to save her, as I've already reached my hunter saving quota for the month.
I have not, however. I don't want her to make the situation worse.
Well, I think the next place we need to head is to see the farmer.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Do you think we should drop some word in with the sheriff and tell him they might have the wrong guy, since we are pretty certain that that man in there did not commit these crimes and most likely is the father of one of the victims?
Oh, he knows he's the father. The sheriff does.
Okay.
That wasn't up for debate.
It's only been 3 days, and leaving an innocent man in a jail cell while his kid sits on a slab.
Well, to be fair, we already have a child parading as an agent out. You really think it's the best idea to have a straight-up city running around? Jail might be the safest place for him
That may be true.
at the moment. But hey, if you want more free radicals situation, if you think that'll help us solve this, you do what you feel is best.
I'm gonna need some time. I need a drink.
It's 10:30.
In fact, I do that right here outside of the the morgue or wherever we're at. Whatever. I'm waiting for this one to come back out, so I just go to the back seat, open a duffel bag, pull out a flask, and take a long draw. It's gonna be a long day. That's better.
How drunk do you get?
Not too drunk. I still have to do my job, but enough to not feel feelings.
Okay,
Not
so
good job.
normal level of...
Functionally drunk. Or at least to deaden feelings. To not feel feelings might be too drunk. There's a whole lot of them that need to be repressed at the moment, so.
Megan, what else do you want to do?
Come out and say to the sheriff, I need to go and discuss this with my colleagues. We'll be in touch.
They gave me their cards.
Finger
in
gunned
case-
I finger gunned him.
So was there a wink involved as well?
Maybe.
Jesus. So does the
Yeah.
junior agent officially appear outside?
I'll take that as a yes. In the car. In the car. In the back seat.
Oh, Conway, you dog.
Oh, you could give her a shotgun if you'd like.
Oh, what? That is disgusting.
We're going to the farm.
Oh, well, then let me go get my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, how does Megan travel?
Bicycle, roller skates.
All the way from Florida.
With a little pink basket on the front,
Yep.
Streamers.
a couple playing cards in the front wheel.
Yeah, she's got a motorcycle, and she keeps all of her gear in a giant backpack.
I guess we go to the farm and leave poor Joe D.
Megan, you get in the back seat with your backpack full of weapons?
Yep.
Okay, you make your way out to the farm. It's a quiet ride. Sure enough, 10 minutes. Okay, it's not a quiet ride. Megan, why is it not a quiet ride?
Because I am playing music on my phone.
With no headphones?
Yep.
Okay, so that's a thing.
What kind of animal are you? This is in character.
What kind of animal are you?
What? I lost my headphones.
What are you listening to?
No, I don't. No, you don't do that. Like, who raised you? Like, who just blasts music out of their phone? Like,
I figured you guys could appreciate this. I mean, come on, it's Journey.
Wait. If it's Don't Stop Believing, as soon as that comes on, I slam on the brakes. No.
Immediately, it's
No. No Journey.
I'm not very much in the mood for old women empowerment at the moment. One moment we have is far too empowered right now. It's far too
okay. Fine, Kesha.
No. Stop getting worse. I will co-sign some Billy Idol. If she has Billy Idol and she starts playing Billy Idol,
White wedding. All right, we go while this fight's going on. As long as it's not Journey, I continue driving.
You get about, I'd say, 2 or 3 minutes down the side road to his actual property and realize that you should probably finish this trip on foot because the road is such that you might get the car stuck.
okay.
This is too big of a car to get stuck in mud.
Yeah, it's just gonna sink at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna walk it. Hope you brought boots.
I swap out my heels for combat boots.
You guys would get a peek inside her bag when she unzips to pull out the combat boots.
How the fuck did you fit an M4A1 into a backpack?
I mean, it's more of a duffel bag, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
This bag is as big as you are. That's impressive. Is that a grenade? Why do you have grenades?
I don't have grenades.
But she has military issue grenades. That's weird.
Like, we get to see the guns too. Like, wait a minute. Yeah, we're gonna have to pause on this. Like, this. Wait, why do you have official military arms?
Because I'm an army brat.
That doesn't.
Is the serial code or serial number filed off that?
No.
Well, it clearly is. Why are you lying? We're looking directly
Why
at
are you
it.
lying? You've stolen military hardware? You can't take stolen military hardware into a man's car and then drive around rural Pennsylvania.
It's not stolen.
It's clear. It's not at all. That's the government's property.
Being next to kin and all.
They don't inherit requisitioned weapons.
Sure we do.
That's not how any of that works.
No. No, what are you looking at? No, this is just my cowboy hat. My Colt
No.
Python has served me well for over 2 decades. I don't need any of that fancy new military hardware. It's semi-automatic.
Fully automatic, bro.
Yeah, M41, it's only really good as a burst weapon. You know that if you play Call of Duty.
Yeah, duty. Okay, now you guys make your way down the road. Without getting too much mud on your boots, you're able to make it to the farmer's house. Looks like he grows wheat mostly. There's a barn, grain silo, a couple chickens out back. They look more for personal use than for anything else. You got a dude sitting on his porch in a rocking chair with a gun across his lap.
Mm-hmm.
60-40, he doesn't make it out of this alive.
He sees you approaching and he makes a show of taking his gun and putting it off to the side so he's non-threatening. And he waits for you to approach.
And we do so. I'm Agent Barker. I look to my partner to introduce himself.
Agent DeLonge,
Hi, I'm Agent
And
Carter.
this Junior Agent Carter.
Mr. Daniels.
The sheriff
you.
called, said you were going to be coming by. I really don't know what I can tell you that I didn't tell him. Anything I can do to help, I guess.
Well, I know it's difficult, but if you could run us through the sequence of events on the night that wife was murdered. Any detail, no matter how small, please do not omit.
I was cooking dinner. It was my turn to cook. She cooks every week except for Wednesdays. That's her day. And I asked her to go get a couple of eggs. And she went outside and I heard her scream. She screamed like I've never heard her before. And she screamed my name. And then everything was quiet. I knocked over dinner and ran. And all I found was close to where the chickens are. She was gone. There was so much blood. I couldn't do anything. And I called 911 and they got here as quick as they could. It was state police and there was nothing they could do. They told me to wait for the sheriff and he took over from that. I thought I saw someone at the edge of the property, but it was dark.
You thought you saw?
It was formed like a body. It was running.
Like a body.
What else could it have been?
I need the details. You can't be vague. You thought you saw like a body. Can you be more specific?
Maybe about your height. It was mostly shadows. I'm not even sure what I saw. I was a little distracted at the moment.
What about the night that you caught?
Cut that scumbag? Yeah. It was dark out when I heard the scream. I knew whoever killed Janice was back. So I grabbed my gun and went out there to catch him. And there he was. Blood all over him. Killed that poor kid.
That was his father.
That son of a bitch. That sick fuck.
I'm not convinced that he killed him.
Well, he was right there trying to bury him. Some kind of devil worship.
Did he have a shovel on him?
I didn't see a shovel on him. I was a little busy. I should have shot him. I should have shot him.
Sir, calm down.
But that's not what she would have wanted. She was a good woman. She wouldn't hurt a flea. Farmer Arlo. He owns another farm around here. Seasonal work for him though, so he's not growing right now. She even gave that bastard tea a few weeks back when he came to say that he wasn't paying for last month's grain shipment on account of mealworms. I grow clean grain. If anything, they got in after he bought it. He was pretty sore about it, but he paid me. She gave that man tea as much as he wanted to cheat me out of what was mine. She was nice to him, nicer than I would have been.
You sold him grain.
He was just another farmer. He had nothing to do with any of this. I'm just saying that she was a good woman. He was trying to cheat me money. What I'm saying is my wife was such a good woman that a few weeks back when this guy came to my farm to tell me he wasn't going to pay me, she still was nice to
So
me.
that wasn't relevant in the least.
It was relevant
Well,
to me.
And how far away, how close, how near is that farm to yours?
Oh, about 10 minutes down the road.
Minutes down the road.
We're kind of neighbors. I mean, it's a bit of a trip, but out here, your neighbors are all 10 minutes down the road, you know what I mean?
The body of the youth was found on your property. Could you show us where that is?
And he takes you outside. It's a little bit off to the side of his property, so you got to walk through some grass. And you can see that the dirt has been recently disturbed and covered up after the sheriff took the evidence. Right here, and he points to the spot on the ground. That's where they saw him trying to cover up the body.
Well, look around for signs of other disturbance, for things we expect to see, i.e. hunt check.
Megan, you see a a shitty investigation right here. You see evidence that has been tampered with and made useless. You are convinced that if the hole hadn't been filled in, if so much time hadn't passed, it took you so long to get here, that you would have been able to tell a lot more about what was going on. This is not your fault.
Clearly the chickens did it.
This is just shitty police work from top to bottom, and it's making your job more difficult.
Fortunately, they did probably take pictures, so we can go back and look at those.
Gerald and Eric, you
Yes.
both noticed two things. One, you do find animal tracks a little bit a ways away from the sites of the murders, and they look very consistent with wolf tracks. Outside of the chicken coop, off toward the edge of the property line, you're able to follow the trail of wolf tracks, and you reach a point where whoever made the wolf tracks, all of a sudden you see two barefoot tracks of a human foot.
The farmer following us around.
He stays within sight, but once you start wandering to the edge of his property, he's reluctant to leave his house.
Okay, well that's fine. Call Agent Carter over and just sort of point at the wolf paw and then the human footprints.
Clearly the chickens did not do this.
Clearly.
Clearly.
Why is it werewolves? Always werewolves. Never wear anything else.
I'd like to go see that neighbor farmer.
Okay,
Yep,
you
yep.
guys make your way back to the car, and there's a problem.
Better not be a problem with my car.
The trunk looks to have been forced open from the outside. With
That is bad.
with a crowbar of some kind.
At least we got the demon out of there.
Yeah.
That would have been one hell of a ride. You get it? You see what was done there?
Now, the windows are all intact, and the inside of the car itself has not been bothered. So, Megan, your bag is still there. A lot of your hunting stuff got stolen.
Son of a bitch.
Your little stuff is still there, like your spell components, your guns. They didn't take the pipe bombs, but your stakes, your machetes,
Which means my scimitar is missing?
your scimitar, your silver. They took it all.
Son of a bitch. And of course it doesn't close because it's been jimmied open.
All right, looks like it's time to get out of this monkey suit. Megan climbs in the back seat and changes out of the really nice clothes and into something a little more rugged.
Gentlemen, you're faced with a dilemma. On the one hand, you've just been robbed of some very important things. But on the other hand, you have an attractive 19-year-old woman stripping practically naked in the back of your car and not seeming to care who sees what.
Gerald isn't paying attention to that. He's formulating the best ways to get silver, and he's trying to figure whether or not this is just a random thing, because a random person might have stolen guns too, because they're worth something. Took my sword, looks maybe sort of valuable, but also much more useful for hunting.
Whoever did this looks like they knew what they were taking.
Yeah, which means that they're probably onto us.
Yeah, there was a knowledge of hunting that went into what was stolen, because things that should have been taken if it was just a straight robbery are still there. Joe, you're pretty much counting the minutes inside your cell, waiting for whatever fate is going to happen. They're pinning the murder of your son on you, as well as some woman you've never met. But worse, you hear a conversation between the sheriff and your ex-wife. He is doing a phone interview with her on speakerphone and taking notes as he asks her a little bit about you. She is more than willing to say that that is exactly like you. You're abusive. You've kidnapped her son without her permission. She says you don't pay child support, that you used to knock her around all the time, and that's why she got custody. She's not surprised that you finally snapped and took it out on someone else.
Well, Joe's just sits there in the cell, and he just can't help but just put his head between his legs. I mean, it's you know, that's what he does. He just sits there and just shakes his head. He just can't believe he's in the situation. Ex-wife would just add fuel to the fire.
You hear glass shattering, and you hear a commotion when the sheriff stands up and says, "What are you doing here? And why did you break my door?" You hear a snarl, and he goes, "What are you doing? What's happening?" And then you hear a loud scream and a struggle. No, stop! And you hear a crunch, and then nothing. And then after a few moments of dead silence, you think you hear chewing, loud chewing. And then under your breath, you hear somebody say, "Next time you'll mind your own damn business." You hear the sound of a broken door being slammed. You would notice a small trail of blood finally making its way to your cell.
Oof.
Put my feet up, and I don't want to get any more blood on me.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, I just got elbowed in the head. Ugh,
I mean, we could use a little bit more slapstick.
that's not my stick.
Move it, Chatterhead. But you guys don't know any of that. You're at
Nope.
Farmer Daniels right now looking at your busted-in car.
Oh, I'm pissed. I could just steal silverware from his house. It's an old rural community. They probably have old silverware. I just need to find a way for my partners to distract the people so I can steal their silverware.
And come on, it's an old farmhouse. They've got to have heirlooms.
You would think. Yeah, the best place to get silver is probably the other farmer's house. All right, we'll go to the other farmer.
The car still runs, thankfully. There's nobody at the farm right now. There's no car
Good.
in the driveway.
Well, just because there's no car doesn't mean there's anyone here. First step is knock on the door. Try looking through windows.
It's dark.
Kick in the back door.
Okay.
I was going to shine a flashlight in the windows first, but sure.
Nope, he already busted the door open. Gerald, you break in the door with a good solid kick, and you're inside.
You also break in your knee with that same solid kick.
Oh, there's a new knee. I have to break it in. Mostly I'm going straight to the kitchen. Silver.
You find flatware,
I need flatware.
meaning that it is stainless steel, like most people have. There's no sense of a woman's touch in this house.
It's the basement.
Yep, basement.
Okay, it's like a root cellar, and you see some like hunting equipment, like rifles, bow, fishing rods, and you do see a freezer next to the dehydrator. It's not locked, but when you open it, on the inside of the lid, you do see bloodstains. Closer inspection of the contents of the freezer reveals half-eaten human heart.
Ding, ding, ding.
Looks like Arlo's being frisky.
And has been watching us if he's the same person who stole stuff out of my car. They didn't come straight back here. If they in fact know who we are and what we do, we would think they'd be keeping an eye on us. And we drove straight here. Oh, damn it, I wasn't thinking.
You can post up in one of them windows. Take pot shots when he comes in.
I'd rather not shoot someone till I confirm that they're a monster.
So you take a thigh shot.
Just blow out a kneecap.
Right. Like, I don't know if you're a hideous monster or an innocent civilian, but
But I do know you don't have a knee.
I'm going to cripple you just in case. We can always reach out to the sheriff, see if he has more information. If he's worth anything, he should have at least stopped in on the neighbors to see if they heard of something.
Probably a good call. Let's get out of here.
Do you guys do a once-over for the entire house, or do you just hit the areas that you said you hit and get the fuck out?
I would have just followed the old man.
Good job.
You got a puppy.
You can do whatever you want, but after I failed to find silver and found the heart, it's time to ditch.
I can take a quick look upstairs while I give the sheriff a call before we head out.
All right, Eric, you dial the sheriff and make your way upstairs to check out the bedroom where the farmer supposedly lives. The phone rings and rings. It goes to voicemail. You do find something on the nightstand, some photos that have been clipped out of a town registry or something. But you see a picture of the wife of Officer Daniels with a red X over it. You see a picture of Farmer Daniels with a red X over it. And you see a picture of Sheriff Lucas Buck with a red X over it.
Oh.
And no one's answering the phone at the sheriff's office.
There's no guarantee that the farmer that we just met.
Was the farmer?
Yep.
Great.
Well, fuck.
What do you want to do next?
Well, if the sheriff's dead, wonder about Mr. Joe.
Yeah, you still think the cell's the safest place for him right now?
Oh.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, Joe, you're murdered in your cell with no chance to defend yourself. Make a new character.
Seems legit. Yeah, we go back to town, I guess. Check on the sheriff.
You make it to the police station, and the big old fancy door with Lucas's name on it is shattered. You don't even need to open it to get inside.
We're civilized.
You are like Grey Poupon civilized. Okay, you make it inside.
Draw my pen.
Okay, you see on the floor a pool of blood and a face-down Sheriff Buck. There's papers everywhere. They appear to be pictures of local farmers. You do see Butch, Claude, Zeb, Calhoun, and Arlo. And the photo for Farmer Arlo does not look like the person that you spoke with on Farmer Daniels' property. Joe, you hear some noise. You hear people moving around out there.
Joe decides just lay low here. just to hear some encouraging news, like, I don't know what's going on here or something, you know?
Well, I grab the keys. The first thing I want to do is hit the weapons locker.
It's got a shotgun, a rifle, and a couple of pistols.
I empty the locker.
Okay.
After we get that squared away, I do go back and check the stuff.
Joe, you see the FBI guy who was here earlier asking you questions poke his head around the corner.
What the hell is going on? Why is there blood in here? You can see I didn't do it.
Because someone decided to have a go at the sheriff. And given that you're locked up, I would assume that You are now cleared of all charges. I head over and unlock your cell. Start heading back down the hall.
I step around the stream of blood and fall right behind.
Joe, you're able to find your things that were confiscated from you. So you get your keys, you get your phone.
Do I walk by the sheriff's body?
You see the sheriff, he's dead.
And is he killed in the same manner? Is his heart missing and everything?
Yep, killed in the same way.
What the hell's doing this?
I don't know. How much do you actually want to know?
Werewolf.
Oh, Jesus.
There you have it.
Did you start doing this yesterday?
You started doing this yesterday, didn't you?
She started doing this yesterday.
No! It was like a year and a half ago.
How are you still alive?
Okay, so what did this?
She just said it was a werewolf.
Yeah, it's a werewolf.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can I see some ID? Really? Can I see a badge?
I show him the badge. Not that it matters.
Maybe I spot something funny about it.
Ours look great. Hers looks like it was like 3D printed. I'm sorry, what? You're new at this. Where'd you get an FBI badge?
Stole it.
Give Conway back his badge. There's no need for us to be FBI anymore because law enforcement couldn't do anything to solve this anyway. Clearly, I gestured at the body on the floor. You've been initiated into a new world.
This is the worst day of your life.
3 days ago was the worst day of my life.
It's legitimately werewolves.
So the
Also-
FBI hunts werewolves?
Motherfucker, we're not FBI.
What are you people doing then?
Well, we're trying to hunt this werewolf down before it can kill more people. Apparently, it has a list of farmers that it's interested in taking out. I think you and your son were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unfortunately, like we actually get robbed by the very creature we're hunting this time.
Are you guys have any suspects?
Yeah.
Yeah, we think so. But he wasn't at home. Then the sheriff didn't answer his phone, so we came here. And that's where we're at right now.
The sheriff's dead. Mrs. Daniels is dead. And if Mr. Daniels was actually Mr. Daniels,
He's next. And we just left him. At least he's
Wow.
armed. Not that it'll matter.
let's move.
Let's move. Into the car.
Okay, you all pile into the Lincoln Continent.
But does the sheriff have any bungee cords here? Need to bungee that trunk shut.
You can find something. You take the sheriff's belt.
Fine. Whatever.
Leave this man some dignity.
Left him his pants.
Yeah, but you pulled him down halfway. I don't know why.
Not in my right mind. There's werewolves at play. No silver. No silver. No silver.
Hey, Joe, you wanted a full moon, right?
Let's hit that old dusty trail.
Drive back to the farm. Pretty much get yourself right where you were.
On the way there, since we're going to kill werewolves, you guys got a weapon for me?
Take the
Something?
service pistol. I'll take the semi-automatic.
First, have you shot before?
Right.
From Detroit.
I didn't ask you if you've been shot at.
It's a little of both. A little of both.
Also, don't expect it to get the job done.
Yeah, the most it's gonna do is ward it off long enough for it to kill you later.
Thinking about the farmer. Pulled a shotgun on me the last time.
He's probably not going to respond well to seeing you.
He called you a hurtful thing.
Yeah.
He called you a hurtful thing.
Trust me, I'm going to hang back. I'll let you guys take the lead.
I'm taking the car through the field.
Oh no, I'm no, the car's too loud.
Okay, no,
I don't care.
You're able to easily find a path of solid ground because the field is very well kept.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get pretty much right up to the guy's house, driving through his wheat field.
I pull up right in front of the house.
You guys make quite a bit of commotion coming through his field, and you see him running outside. He's like surprised and angry at the same time. And when you get out of the car, he's got his shotgun in his hand, but he's not holding it by the butt. He's holding it by the barrel. Like he just kind of grabbed it because he heard something loud outside. And he looks at you, and he looks at your car, and he looks at the field, and he seems to be angry with rage.
So when I got out of the car, I already have my gun out.